1865 was a year of war, progress, and eventually success. Over the span of 1 year, a president of the United States was assassinated. The bloodiest war of American history was ended, and slavery was abolished altogether. At the beginning of the year, in 1865, the 13th Amendment came into play on January 31st, where the House of Representatives passed this bill. The next day, President Lincoln approved this bill, taking one step closer to abolishing slavery officially.
And now, here's a word from our sponsors.
Gee-hoo! Welcome to Hillbillies Harry's Hostile Weapons Show. We got the rootinest, tootinest weapons you'll ever find. We got rifles, sabers, guns, bowie knives, pistols, revolvers, repeating rifles, muskets, and anything you'll ever need. And there's a 50% discount to all you soldiers fighting in the Union. Please do to win this war. Hillbilly Harry's Hostile Weapons Store. Might lose this one, sir.
This one isn't over, boys. Fire!
Union side.
We got them, sir. They have surrendered.
Good, now we make sure it's an ambush.
Okay, sir, we'll set up the men protecting the perimeter so no one can ambush.
Meanwhile, on the Confederate side, General, I think we should just hold our position in the southern trenches.
Yeah, Ranger, get back on your horse and tell the soldiers to hold their positions no matter the cause.
Sir, yes.
Ah, it's an ambush. Retreat. I speak, retreat.
The Civil War was finally over after this amazing victory for the Union. General Lee Grant and his Confederates eventually surrendered to Ulysses S. Grant on April 9, 1865, after retreating from their capital at Richmond. The next day, the Union breaks out in celebration in Washington.
On a dark, eerie night, on April 14, 1865, a famous actor named John Wilkes Booth was galloping south for his life, for his mission had finally succeeded. For the first time in history of the United States, a president had been assassinated.
President Lincoln settles in for the third act of Our American Cousin in his private balcony inside Ford's Theater. Booth is plotting his scheme with a drink in his hand just across the street from where President Lincoln is situated.
I looked down at my watch. It showed 10 p.m. It was now time to go to work. The drink in my hand a few seconds before was at my disposal. But before I could think about what was next, I was already rounding the corner outside the bar. Sprinting across the street, I entered the theater. As I whispered to myself, just in time. By now I had already run up the stairs in the theater, walked around the long stretch of the hallway where I was greeted by a young man, and he said,
May I see your card, please?
Yes. Here it is, my fine sir.
Are you John Wilkes Booth?
Yes, I am. Can I pass so I can meet with the president, please?
Right this way, sir.
After passing, I then had full access to the president's private quarters. I crept up just behind the door where the president was located. By then, my pistol seemed to gain 1,000 pounds. It was heavy. It was in my suit jacket. I reached inside and pulled it out. My hands shook as I crept up on Abraham Lincoln from behind, with the pistol pointed at his head.
President Lincoln died in a house across from the theater the next morning at 7:22 a.m. Vice President Andrew Johnson assumes the presidency. It was a sad time for the United States.
There he is, get him!
The Union cavalry pursued John Wilkes Booth for 12 days and finally caught up to him at Garrett Farm in Virginia. A Union unit eventually cornered Booth inside of a barn.
It seems he is hidden in the barn.
Captain, how should we flush him out?
Burn him out. Wait for him to come running out of the barn and shoot him in the head. Either way, chances of him escaping are extremely slim. So he has the choice. He can burn alive in the barn, or he can escape and get shot while trying to run from us. Does anyone have a problem with this plan?
All right, that sounds good. Let's set the barn on fire.
How about I'll go get some and start the fire? I think if we spread a little gunpowder around, it'll do the trick.
That will do fine. I'll go get a match. Ah! I hope my other associates have carried out their jobs already. They will kill the Secretary of State and the Vice President in a matter of time. Death to the Union! Ah! At this moment, John Wilkes Booth charged out of the barn like a wild man, taking his chances with several bullets flying towards his head. He was eventually shot in the neck by a Union soldier and then was tied up and bled to death several hours later. This was a major achievement of the Civil War because the murderer of President Lincoln was finally captured and put to justice. Raccoon rugs. We got all your coon needs here down in Salem at your Alabama Coon Store. All your raccoon rugs are 100% real coon hide, straight out of your local woods. Come on down and buy the best coon rug you will ever own.